Let's get started on project 2, and this one we'll do in a series of smaller assignments, and then ultimately you'll write a paper at the end, 5-page, okay, and you'll do that at the end, and it'll be an analysis of a company. And because this is a finance class, obviously the focus of the paper will be on the finances of that company. It won't be the entirety of the paper, but it should be the focus and the majority by far of the paper. So this Word doc's available to you, and so you can download it. I won't read it for you, but we'll talk about it, and again, ultimately, let's just say, hey, the first part of this assignment is that you're going to choose a company that you want to analyze. Now, a few hints. Keep it simple. And what do I mean by that? GE would not be a simple company to analyze because GE is a conglomerate. They have all kinds of different businesses in all kinds of different areas. Okay, very difficult to analyze. A business that has a single business might be a little bit easy. You know, pick a small publicly traded clothing store. You know, in the past I've had people do Rue 21. I've had people do Wet Seal and a few others like that. I think both of those are having tough times right now, so it might not be the best choice. But although the purpose of your analysis isn't to say that it's a great company, it will be to determine whether or not it's a good company and one that you would be interested in investing in. Okay, so but choose a company that's kind of simple. Oh shoot, I was thinking there's big companies. Let's take Starbucks. That'd probably be okay. They've got really one main business. They ventured out like into tea, okay, but really they've got just one main business, and so analyzing Starbucks wouldn't be that difficult. Amazon might be a little more difficult. They started by selling books, and they're starting to branch out into all kinds of weird things, okay. I've had people want to do Tesla before. Tesla's tough. Okay, they just haven't made money really yet. They're still losing money, and it's a little more difficult to analyze. So, choose one, submit it. You're not going to be locked in. You may choose one, and I'll come back and say, maybe that's not the best choice. Maybe you ought to consider something else. So, then you need to find their ticker symbol. Right? Here's the assignment. Okay, Sunday night, March 12th. Is that when that should be? That's a Monday night, so we'll make that Sunday night, March 11th. Okay. Actually, I would like it before that. I think I'm going to change that and make that earlier, because what week are we on here? We're not even there, so you guys should be able to do this before spring break. So let's change this to Friday night. What is that, the 9th of March? Yeah, there we go. Okay. I'll update that on the site there too. So you choose the public company you think you want to analyze. Tell me what the company is. That's in your assignment. You can do this in a Word doc. Most of this you could probably just plug right in to the notes there, whatever, in the Dropbox. Find the ticker symbol of that company. I'll show you kind of how to do that, usually from 1 to 4 letters. For example, Microsoft's ticker symbol is MSFT. Ford's ticker symbol is F, and Amazon is AMZN. Sometimes they're really close like that, and it's fairly easy to find. Other times it's a little more difficult. I've had people do North Face before. Well, North Face is a very common product. A lot of us are familiar with their clothing and whatnot, but they're actually owned by a company that's called VF Corporation. I think it started out as Vanity Fair, maybe Corporation, and they own other brands besides, North Face. They own Wrangler, I think, and Lee, and a few others. Okay, so maybe a little more difficult to find, but if you really have some troubles, then we'll figure it out. Okay, tell me the company's last closing price. And I'll go through each of these. Tell me the company's PE ratio, and tell me the company's previous year's earnings per share. And that's it. Okay. I know it probably seems like a lot right now, but it shouldn't be that difficult. So how do we find that? Well, one of the things that we can do maybe is just go and search for it. Let's say, okay, the one I said was difficult one is, what is the ticker symbol for North, can't type, North Face. Because that's a weird, right? Because it's not North Face. It's actually, again, like I said, VF. There you go. VFC is the ticker symbol for VF Corporation, the parent company of North Face. So, that might be the easiest way to start. Okay. Other ways might be to use some of the websites that I provide here. I put Morningstar first because it's been my favorite. It's been kind of my go-to site for a lot of this information. These are pretty good, though. Okay, this one I just added, and actually this NASDAQ one's really good. And I in the future, I wouldn't be surprised that I'll start using it maybe as much or more than Morningstar and looking up financial information and whatnot for these companies. But just to give you an example, let's click on. I'll open up Morningstar. Because you could do a similar thing here. Got to get rid of the ad, of course. So stock, fund, ETF quotes, reports, articles, those types of things. Markets. So I think I can do the same thing here. Let's just see. It gives you recent views. I did JM Smucker. That's kind of interesting, but I wonder if I typed in North Face here, what that might do. Yeah, see, not very good there. That didn't give me a good readout at all. But if I put in that VFC that I had, VF Corp, there we go. I can click on that. Maybe I can. Then it gives me some information. One of the reasons I'm kind of thinking of switching from Morningstar, I used to like their old site better. They used to have a really good site, and it's kind of changed up. So if I'm not jumping at things right away, it's because they have changed their site. They've been in the process of doing this, so I've kind of known that it's coming, but it's a little different than what it used to be. So sometimes me finding the information is a little more difficult. But so from Morningstar, so I'm going to kind of jump ahead then. So what are the questions that I asked? Well, got what's the ticker symbol? Well, I found that in another fashion. But then tell me the company's last closing price. So, put the date on this too, because I kind of want to make sure that you're doing it right. So today, the market's closed today at 2 o'clock our time. So at 2:27, its closing price was, I got to see if that's right. Should be, that's after hours, $74.90. Yep, 74.9. So it closed at the low end of the range. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, but the market really collapsed at the end today. Anyhow, so yeah, 74.90 would be the closing price for as of 2/27/18. Okay, what's the next question that I ask? Tell me the company's PE ratio. Price earnings. Okay, PE. P for price, E for earnings. So the price earnings ratio, 30.30. That means that its price, $74.90, is 30.3 times more than its earnings per share. Okay, I could actually calculate the earnings per share then, if that's the case, since it's not giving it to me right here. It used to right here on the front. Kind of interesting. Huh. Man, okay. It has changed a lot, so sorry, that's why I'm not finding it right away. But I could come here, probably key ratios. Since it's not saying that, it might tell me there what my earnings per share is. We'll see. Revenue, net income, free cash flow. Right? Nope, doggone. Okay, and am I missing it? Now, I might be. Huh. Okay, So again, anyhow, if I took the 74.90 and divided it by 30.30, I'd get my earnings per share. It might be off a little bit because of rounding, but it'd be $2.47. Okay, 247 would be my earnings per share, but I ought to be able to find that some other place here. Let's see, 3 months, 6 months, 40 day. Huh. Golly. Okay, I'm going to go to another site. I'm going to go to this NASDAQ site then. I'm going to enter in my symbol there, VFC. 52-week high. Here we go. Okay, real-time quote, but hit this summary quote here for this one. Okay. PE ratio for earnings per share. That's different than what I came up with. Of course, that's a Today's high, low, share volume. The only thing, this one, oh, there it is, yeah, 74.90, so it does give you the same closing price. But earnings per share is 151, so that is different than what I came up with. Where's my price-earnings ratio then here? Forward PE. Well, this is, here's the current PE. Look at that, they're completely different. Wow, two different sites. So the current PE is 49.6. That's based on the trailing 12 months earnings. The forward PE, which is based on what their estimates are for the next year, are 21.98. You know what this is? I'd almost bet the PE that we have here is based on their last quarter. Okay, so we might get a wide range. So it's kind of difficult. So put down there what you find, whichever site you go to. I'll tell you what, I might even ask you to tell me the site that you go to just so I can check. Okay. And it also then shows you the company's earnings per share, which I had on here. This particular one does show the earnings per share. So, wow. Yeah, they changed that Morningstar one enough that it's maybe not going to be my go-to one anymore. So, okay. You may want to just come here to NASDAQ. But any of these other ones also, if you're used to Google, their site's not too bad. We'll open it up just for the heck of it, and I'll show you. Ooh, finance, switch to Chrome. No, I don't want that. I'm in the finance, a little bit different. So I'm going to enter in, I don't know if I can just do it right up here, VFC. So I get this kind of a market summary, similar. High open, PE ratio, it's similar to that other one. Close of 74.90 as of, okay. PE ratio, I said, it doesn't have earnings per share. News compare, I hit the financials maybe. That gets to be a little bit more complicated, but it does give me some things like that. Oh, wow, look at that. This is as of June 17th, so it doesn't, was that the last quarter that they did? Kind of crazy, but they lost 23 cents. It's probably that's December of 17. Huh, that's kind of interesting. Wow, we'd have to really dig into their financials then because they got some stuff going on there. I don't like the Google site. I'm sorry. I'm going back to the NASDAQ site. It's a little bit better. Okay, the Morningstar site might be okay, but right now I'm going to say you might want to try this NASDAQ site out. So sorry again for being a little bit confused, but there you have it. Anyhow, that should get you through the first assignment. In some fashion or another, give the ticker symbol, give me that information, and we'll talk about it. If you have a question about your ticker symbol, send it to me. Put it in the Dropbox. Maybe I'll try to pay attention to those, keep those as the top of my priority. Say, hey, what do you think about this company? And I'll take a look at it and kind of say, oh, that might be good or that might be bad. And stay away. Keep using ones that have a simple business. It'll be easier for your analysis. There you go. I'm going to quit. And I'll talk to you guys later.